Here we go.
All right, everybody. Welcome to HiFi Fanatics. My name's Mike with Audio Architects. Next to me is my co-host and cohort, Giles from Home Theater Fanatics.
What's up, bitches?
And today we have Scotty D in the house.
Hi, everybody. Glad to be
Scotty
here. I've heard about this. I feel like I'm like a celebrity now. Like I've gone from a F-lister to maybe an A-lister, B-lister.
No. This is still F-list for sure.
Yeah, maybe F plus. Maybe I'm not
one
sure.
can dream. You got
Right
to,
on.
yeah.
The Mad Piranha's here though, so we got one person up in the crowd.
Yeah, we got some Mad Piranha action.
Cool.
Right on. So Scotty D, I'm sure most of our audience knows who you are because they saw you in the December celebration video.
Yeah.
However, for those of you that don't know who Scotty D is one of the head honchos over at Starke Sound. Tell us a little bit about your Starke Sound role and what you do.
Yeah, well, I'm my official title. I go beyond this in my task, but my official job title is Chief Design Director. So basically, I'm in charge of the industrial design of the products, and I am a founding partner of the company as well. So, it's kind of a multidisciplinary team that decides what Starke's all about. The kind of products that we do, the kind of experience that we want to provide. We all kind of work together, but I'm more on the design side. So that's kind of what I bring to the table. We also have Dan Wiggins, which is our CTO. He kind of is in charge of all the science. So basically, when we have an idea for a speaker, he gives me the volume, the size of the drivers basically, and I kind of work out what it's going to look like. So together we kind of, we have the best of both worlds. So it's science and design together. Yeah.
Very cool.
Now I have a question.
Yeah.
So I've been a big fan of your company here for a while now, but everybody might not know what you guys make.
Yeah. Well,
what's the deal? The Starke Sound deal?
The question you should be asking is, what don't we make? Because we make a lot of stuff. Let me just give you a little bit of history, and that will kind of describe the evolution to where we are today and the current product line that we have. I mean, we started out just kind of focused on multi-channel speakers for home theater applications. So that was really our original focus. All of our first prototypes, our production runs, we were developing speakers. We were doing, everything that you would need, say, for an Atmos system or even just like a normal 5.1 system. So LCR, surrounds, and ceiling. And another interesting fact about our company is that we build everything in-house. We have our own factory. Maybe not all your viewers know this, but most speaker companies, they farm out certain aspects of the components of their final products. Like drivers typically are built somewhere else, but we do everything in-house. So since we had those resources and those capabilities, after a few years of designing the speakers, getting them better, we decided that we were going to start doing amplifiers as well. We didn't feel like there were any amplifiers on the market that could really drive the speakers the way that we felt could be driven. So since we had our own factory and we had the engineering, we started developing amplifiers. And since we were doing amplifiers and speakers, why not do subs as well? So we kind of focus on those big three things, I think: speakers, amplifiers, and subwoofers. So that's currently, if you go to our website, www.starkesound.com, you can see all of our products there.
Scott, I'll tell you what, man, and I'm not saying this because I like you or because
he doesn't like you at all.
Because you don't, yeah.
I am kind of a dick, but I'll tell you what, you guys built a 4-channel amplifier, bridgeable down to 2, that blows away competition well above its price point, well above. And this is obviously a conversation you and I have already had, so you already know the context. However, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to reveal who the other companies are that I've compared them to, but it's a very impressive amplifier, and it's also, I've noticed, it won an award on the Secrets of HiFi and Home Theater and HiFi.
Yeah.
They won an award on there, and they did a gleaming review. So your company and this, a lot of these products are getting a lot of attention right now, and I'm excited to see how things go.
Yeah, we're excited too. Obviously, getting that award on Secrets of Home Theater HiFi was really a surprise and wonderful for us. We always had a lot of confidence in this amplifier, and we took a little while to design it right. We wanted it to be different, and we feel that we achieved that goal. We actually sold out most of our inventory a lot quicker than we thought. And there was just a huge outpouring for it. So, it's a great amplifier at a great price point, and it has some features that you just mentioned that most of the amplifiers in this class don't have. I mean, the fact that it's bridgeable is really an excellent element about this product that sets itself apart. So no matter what your system is, if you configure it right, I mean, there's never a leftover channel that isn't being used. I mean, you're always using the full power of this amplifier.
Right.
And, that was one of our goals too. And the other aspect of the 84 that makes it special is that the module, the digital amplification of this amplifier is something that we developed ourselves in the factories I was just telling you about. Most digital amplifiers, their modules are coming from one of three or four places abroad, typically. And most digital amplifiers, they have a very similar sound to them. But I think one of the main goals when we first started this project was that we wanted something that sounded a little more warm. Typically a digital amplifier, as great as they are for their price points, they seem to be a little too crisp and maybe even a little bit cold. So we wanted something that was a little bit warmer. So we developed our NS600 module. And with that module, we were able to achieve this Class AB kind of feel to it. And most of the customers, they read about it, they got it. The feedback has been great. They're lining it up next to their old digital amplifiers, and there's a noticeable difference. So it's really great.
One thing I noticed, because my for the most part, my channel is fairly new, my YouTube channel, and it's been pretty linear. However, over the scope of this last month, I've had over 4,000 views on the 84 review I did. And that is extremely abnormal for my channel.
That's great, man. We appreciate that. That's great. You're getting the word out there.
Well, I mean, it just goes to show that there's a buzz going on about Starke sound, and I really want the same attention for the VB61 video I did. However, for some reason, people are just falling in love with this 84, and obviously you guys are running a really good special on a lot of your products on your sales site and everything. I think is awesome. That's a really good way to get the word out there as well. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see where things go. What about you, Giles?
Yeah. So, before I get into the technical stuff, couple of shout outs here. So Neil's on, hey man, how you doing? And then Kaplan Design says, hey Scott, and he wants to know if you're sporting a goatee now.
It's a beard, and I think I know Kaplan Design. I think that's Jeff Kaplan there joining us.
Well, welcome, Jeff.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah.
Hopefully he shows up for all of our broadcasts from now on. So I was thinking, right? So when you think home theater amplification, you see a lot of different amps, but one that you don't see a lot of is a 4-channel amp. And, I thought that was kind of interesting because, you see what I think are less useful in the long-term kind of channel numbers, like a 5-channel amp that's not bridgeable, right? If you're not running a 5-channel system, then, that, it's like very specific. But I think the 4-channel is like the coolest number of channels because you can do, you take that 4 and it's bridgeable, and all you have to do is keep stacking amps on, and you can run anything from a 2-channel system all the way up, to 16 channels, just depending on how much power you want to put into each channel. And if you want to put a lot of power into each channel, you just get 8 of them and bridge them all down down to 2 channels each, and then you're really baller. And that's super crazy. But yeah, it's kind of cool the way you can stack those things, and you never waste a channel, and it's super, super flexible. And from listening to Mike's setup, it's in my opinion, just as at home being bridged down to 2-channel and working in 2-channel mode as it is running 4 and maybe running your left, right, and center, or just get 2 of them and you're doing 7-channel surround with 2 bridged down to your center channel. Pretty cool.
Well, I'll tell you what, Giles, I'd have to agree with you on that. I think if given the chance to do a home theater setting for myself, I would definitely just pile on 1 or 2 more 84s and power everything.
Yeah.
And and I've heard because you run the A7 and the A8 in your environment, and I believe the first time I ever really heard a higher end amplifier was at your house when I heard the A7, and you remember my reaction.
Oh yeah, you lost your shit.
Yeah, because that was when I was first really getting into it. That was before my channel and everything. That was just when we were just hanging out.
Oh yeah.
And I remember I was helping you out with. We were doing like a bookshelf comparison video, and I brought over these pair of R51M Klipsch speakers that I had a kind of a not a great opinion of it because I thought they didn't sound that great. And then all of a sudden you play them on the A7 and I'm like, this is a different speaker, so it's that much of a difference. It's that much of an audible difference in quality, not just volume and loudness. And, it's incredible. It really is what these amps can do.
Yeah, it's cool. And there's a question for you, Mike.
Possibly.
It sure is. I saw that actually. I was going to say something, but
yeah, that's
a little product placement there.
That's it's a very beautiful. Right now, my area is completely in disarray because I'm reorganizing things. So I have my light is right here that I normally use for these things. So I'm using a little LED today, but yeah, that is oh my God.
Be careful, man.
Yeah, that is one of the ICH3s. Very, very impressive speaker. I did a brief review on it on my channel recently, but I feel like I need to really get into these things because I want to do some A/B tests and some other good stuff because these are some really special speakers. So, and I know Giles has had experience with them as well. And you can agree that their sound stage and just the imaging and the dynamics of it all, but they are very, very, they're very selective as to which amplifier they like. And so far, out of all the amplifiers I've thrown at them, the only ones that they've liked is the 84. That's the one that they sound the best with. So, and that can really drive them. So it's a really, like I said, it's a very special speaker. It's something I've never seen before. That is, I mean, you can look at it. I'm not too far away from it right now, but it's probably the biggest bookshelf speaker, stand mount speaker I've ever seen in my life, or will ever see in my life.
That's the thing. You're right, because in your video, what was the title? It's like the biggest bookshelf speaker.
The biggest bookshelf speaker I've ever seen, and and I mean, you're rocking so much goodness in there. And I was actually, Scott, I was actually surprised. Let's see if I'm pointing in the right direction. I was actually surprised how much voice this little guy has. You know, for being such a small speaker, it produces so much detail in the vocals and in the instruments. I don't know, man. It's incredible. People should stop sleeping on Stark Sound and start buying these things.
Well, I think the model you have before you, that's our Beryllium Tweeter model, correct?
Right.
Yeah, because we have two models. We have the Beryllium Tweeter, but we also offer a soft dome tweeter version as well. And I think you have the Beryllium Tweeter, and and that's actually, that's one of the first speakers that we prototyped when we started the company. So it's been through, I think, 3 generations now. And it really kind of embodies and encompasses, a lot of the technology and a lot of the design style that our company represents. So, you can't really see from this angle looking behind you, Mike, but, it does have an aluminum faceplate, and that also comes in a anodized black. What you have is the brushed aluminum silver. But the cabinet itself is tapered, and we've got some features on top of it as well. So
your contoured design on top is gorgeous, and the paint finish, the whatever finish you used on it. I think I mentioned in my video that most high-end car manufacturers would be jealous of this kind of finish. So it's just gorgeous.
Well, it's no secret that automotive design was kind of the impetus for this. When we were coming up with just general design ideas in the very beginning, before we had really come up with anything, I gave a design presentation to the rest of the team, and I'm an architect as well, so I have this presentation in my background of putting together ideas of how to start from zero with something and get a feeling about what this wants to be. So in the presentation that I gave, I had images of automotive design, and the whole idea of an automotive finish on an audio speaker was something that was agreed upon in the very beginning. And I believe the model or the actual products you have there, it's a white with a pearlescence to it. So it's a very deep gloss, something that you would see on a car, but it also has that pearlescence. So as you walk around it in certain types of light, it actually has a little bit of reflection. So it's dynamic. It's always changing as you walk around. As a matter of fact, when we do all of our trade shows, it's always the ICH3 on its stand that we have right in that corner next to the aisleway. So it really grabs the attention of people. And that was the purpose of the speaker beyond the performance is, we wanted something that was beautiful, something that was a piece of sculpture rather than just an extruded rectangle that you see in a lot of speakers these days.
No, I'll tell you what, it's heavier than all holy hell.
Yeah, tell me about it. Sometimes I wish I was in the headphone business. It'd be a lot better for my back.
I'll tell you what, because I review a lot of things, and I occasionally I have to move them, and moving them is like, oh my god, it's like carrying a person. It's like, because those come in at what 50, 60 pounds a piece.
Gotta be 60 pounds, man.
Yeah. I think they're when they're packaged up, it's close to 70. So we're talking between 60 and 65. And as backbreaking as that sounds, there's a reason though. We use HDF for our cabinets. It's a much more dense fiberboard, just like MDF is. But we do that because obviously it's more heavy and it has a better effect on the SPLs. So when you're trying to push all that sound and that air out, having that more solid material in there, it increases the performance. It's a more dead material too, so you're not getting any harmonics or vibrations inside of the cabinet like you do with some of the lighter speakers. So, it's a balance. We could have made it heavier, right? But we also we could have made it lighter too. But when we were doing all of our testing and we were looking at all the analytics of it, this was kind of the balance between everything. So,
and I think Giles can agree with me when I mentioned they like a certain kind of source and a certain kind of amplification, because Giles, didn't you have an experience where you were using a certain kind of amplification and you switched to a different one and you're like, whoa, big difference?
Yeah. But for that particular circumstance, I don't know what it was really. So I had a couple of 2-channel class AB amplifiers, and I had those bridged down to a single channel, and they were pushing about 100 watts each bridged, and they just were not up to task at all. And, they were trying, but man, they just they they were not performing well. But you pull those out and stick the 84 in there, and we're good to go. And I found a couple other amplifiers that were they were okay as well. But yeah, those 2 little guys, they could not handle the situation of the ICH3s. One thing that I think is interesting about the ICH3s is those are a true fully sealed design. So there are no ports on that box anywhere to be found. So most manufacturers are trying to suck out some additional low end or something, by giving you some trickier box design. I really like the way that they sound in that sealed enclosure.
They're not super bassy, which doesn't bother me because obviously you and I both use.
You'll run it with a subwoofer for your smart.
We use subwoofers for everything. But what I like about it is that it's not so much focused so much on the low end and providing a lot of bass, but it's more focused on the clarity, and the clean, just nice sound that comes out of it. I wouldn't say they're overly warm or overly cold. The Beryllium Tweeter is very. When I did the roux on it, it kept going. It didn't. You know how most on REW at about 15 to 20,000.
They just take out
20 kilohertz. It goes down. This thing just went boom. It just kept going, and I probably could have measured upwards. It probably could have measured way higher than that. So it definitely does not lack in high end or mids. I think it's a very, very audiophile centric speaker.
It's a speaker for the young, because my old ears can't hear over like 16, 17K anymore. Maybe even 15. I don't know.
I remember doing that test with you. That was funny.
Dude, that's so bad. Remember my kids are all like, and I'm like, what?
Dude, your kids can hear upwards of like 18
19K, yeah.
Yeah, like I was like, dude, these kids have superhuman hearing, man. I mean,
I got nothing.
Probably hear a fart a mile away. But
ultrasonic fart.
Yeah. So Scott, what do we got? What are you working on? Like, what are you working on? Any new special hidden projects? Do you have any personal stuff going on? Any cool like architectural projects you got going on?
Yeah. Well, first of all, with some of our speaker projects, I have some speaker projects that are going on that we're going to be releasing pretty soon here, and I also have some interesting architecture stuff that I'd be more than happy to share. But our next move here, and we've already kind of indicated this on the website, is our SW series, our subwoofers. So we've been selling the SW12. And we got a lot of great response from that. So much so, we had a lot of fans that were saying, "Hey, how about a larger one? Hey, how about a smaller one?" So we just completed a factory production run of an SW15, which is basically the same technology as the SW12, but we've got a 15-inch driver in that one, and we have the SW10. Which is the 10-inch version of that. And those are available now on pre-order, and we should have those ready to ship early in January. So we're looking forward to getting that out. Those are, really great products for those price points. And it's kind of complementing our full range of subwoofers that we do. We also have the Halo series subwoofers. You can see that on our website as well. But the SW series has really become popular, so we've expanded that.
Yeah, I'm curious about that SW15 because in Giles' world, the 15 is like just where you start to crack into being a real subwoofer. So if you're going in the home theater, you better be 15 inches or bigger. So that one for me is kind of cool because that kind of signals outside of your sub 45 which is a crazy 15-inch sub.
Yeah.
This is this is like a big deal, right? It's cool.
Yeah, and we're no stranger to large driver subs, but with the SSW12, we were kind of testing the waters with that. So our first design challenge when we started the company, after we got through the speakers and the amplifiers and we started doing the subs, and it was the Halo series, right? So we kind of worked out all the wrinkles on those, and we developed a pretty good sub line with the sub 24, the sub 35, and of course the sub 45 that you were just referring to, which is really a beast. It's massive. That has the dubious distinction of being the heaviest product that we have in our line. It weighs more than anything. I mean, it's delivered in a crate. We have a special system for you to roll it out and place it and everything in there. But we learned quite a bit from this product. So, we took everything that we learned from those and we put it into kind of a more kind of economic friendly speaker. Because there's a speaker for everybody out there. There's sub out there for everybody, and we feel that the SW12, the SW15, and the 10 are really going to appeal to a more budget-minded crowd. So it still has some of the same proprietary technology that we have in our Halo series, but it's just packaged in a more affordable box. So
what people may not know right now is that right now, if you go on your website, I was just looking at your website, they are buy one, get one on the 10, the 12, and the 15, which is really cool. And that can solve a lot of problems for people. I think a lot of people want a nice symmetrical, displacement of bass, in their front, and if they have the two matching subs, I think that'd be pretty rad. I think a lot of people will jump on that. Or if they're in the mood of giving, since it is Christmas time, they can buy one for themselves and give one to me. So
yeah, if anybody wants to buy one and give one away. I was thinking, people
and
should
Giles wants the 15, so
I was thinking people should just go ahead and buy 4 of the 15s for their theater, right? Put one, 2 in the front, 2 in the back.
They'd be done. They would be done.
Completely done.
Yeah, and obviously they're designed on the rear plate, on the rear panel, there's an in and an out. So you can link these together. So, you just take your source and you've got one cable coming out and you've got the master sub and then you've got the slave sub. So, they do work well in tandem. And just so you know, the sale, I mean, we're just introducing the product. So we're, this buy one, get one free isn't going to be going on forever. In fact, we'll probably never have this again. It's all about the timing on something like this. And when you're introducing a new product into the market, you have an aggressive push for it. So, it's a really great deal for people who are interested. And, we're not gonna have this one again. It might go on sale again some other time, but, it's never going to be buy one, get one free again. So, take advantage while you can.
You know what that means, Giles?
Time to buy one, get one.
Time to go shopping.
Time to buy one, get one. Yeah, I was thinking because if you want to run 4, most AVRs do 2 sub outs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the LFE combined with whatever's in your crossover point. But yeah, it's kind of cool. You just take that RCA cable, dump into sub number 1 in the back, and then daisy chain the second one off, and then run the other to the front and daisy chain off that way. And just a nice, easy, elegant way to set that up for folks that aren't going to jump all the way neck deep or head underwater deep and do the mini DSP 4x2x4 HD and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of cool.
Giles, I'm really surprised that they're still making all these AVRs with only a .1 option, without having 2 sub outs. Most people are using 2 or more subs in their home theater, but
I guess it just depends what class of processor or AVR that you're looking into. I guess the budget stuff that they try and cost out as low as possible. You do it's like a 5.1 with like 30 watts a channel or something.
Is it really that much more money, you think, to get a second out?
No, but I think at that point, the goal for the product is to come in as low a price as they can possibly make it. So they shave off everything they possibly can.
Yeah, I feel you. So that way they have their 7.2 to 11.2 systems, and it's not like, oh, well, I can just get, a 5.2 or 7.2 for the. I see what you're saying. They want to.
Yeah, but dude, the thing though with the subwoofer out, all you got to do is take a Y adapter and plug in, because it's all the same content. There's no different content coming off the sub outs. It's all the same. Now you can do things in higher end processors where you can take multiple sub outs, but then apply different EQ settings to them, so they're getting the same source content. But just depending on where they are in the room, you can apply a different delay package on it, a different PEQ package on it, and that kind of thing. And that's what people will do with like the mini DSP 2x4 HD. That's so that they can apply separate EQ and time delay and that kind of stuff to the sub. But like the Acurus Act 4 that I've been playing with, you can do 3 different sub channels with different delay and parametric EQ, and then you can actually clone those over to 3 other channels, so you can have 3 sets of 2 outputs if you want, and each of those 3 sets can have different delay and EQ. So if you have like a mirrored subs like you were talking about before in the front of the room, you can have that as a set and do the delay and EQ on those, and then another set to back and do a set there, and then a third set and do 6. So it can do .6. It's like quasi .6. It's like .3 times 2 kind of, but it's pretty nifty to be able to do that and not have to add in extra hardware.
I think 6 might be a little too much, but
no. Well, talking about too much, and we're let's segue for a few minutes into to some media talk right now, because I got about halfway through Tenet today. So my wife and kids got home about halfway through it, and they absolutely threw a fit, and they were like, what?
Yeah, I heard that. I heard it's very hard to follow. I heard it's beautiful to watch, but I don't know.
It's an amazing movie, and I remember telling Giles repeatedly on stream and personally that when I went to see it at the movie theater when they reopened movie theaters. And they were being safe about everything. I was fine. And I remember mentioning to Giles that I'm like, Giles, I was at an AMC and their subwoofers couldn't keep up with the soundtrack on this movie. I'm like, dude, I can hear these subwoofers almost bottoming out. Like they're pushing everything they can, and you can't even. I knew it can go deeper. So Giles, tell Scott what you experienced today and how it corresponds with what I told you.
Well, first off, yeah, this is, I think, the most ridiculous bass mix I've ever heard in a movie before. And so I'm watching this on 4K Kaleidoscape, and this is pumping out through the Act 4, and then from a subwoofer complement, I've got two GSG Audio Marty Cubes, so 18-inch driver. In the cube size box, the Velodyne Digital Drive Plus 18, a Martin Logan, what is it, a 1600?
Yeah,
which is a 15-inch driver. And that thing was thumping. Oh my! It was getting some excursion.
You like it?
Oh yeah, I like it. And then off to the side, I've got a GSG Audio Devastator, which is a 21-inch 5th order ported box. And holy sweet Jesus! So the 3 GSG subs are being powered by that Sensibin 10K, and man, I was getting about half the lights out of that thing. Okay,
half the lights is really good out of that.
It's a lot. So I heard new rattles that I've never heard before. So the whole screen would move. I mean, the screen was moving on the wall. If you when you're in my room and you sit in the seating, there's that double door going into that room to the right,
rattling
door handle. Buzzed. It sounded like a freaking jackhammer. It's just the handle is zzz. I'm like, what? And then I think one of the can lights in the ceiling started rattling, and so I had to turn everything down. Right, it's just too much. But when my wife got home with the kids, she's like, well, first off, they were upset that I was watching it without them, so I had to stop, and we're going to watch it Thursday night. But she was like, dude, what are you doing to the kitchen? I'm like, what are you talking about? And the pantry, which is a floor up, like had dumped all the cans off into the floor. It had buzzed everything off. I mean, never had anything like this in the room, but it was a lot of bass energy. Okay, that's one thing. So you got to turn it way down, and turn to way down is still a lot. But the mix on the vocals, the center channel, I had to bump it up 3 decibels just to make it okay. And
it is a quiet. I noticed that actually in the theater as well, that the vocals was very, like, I had to really pay attention.
Yeah.
Because this is one of those movies where if you put your head down for a second, you'll miss something.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very, very, if you've seen Inception, it's very similar to Inception, but it's just it's a mind trip, you know?
Dude, when they later on in the movie, I don't want to spoil stuff, but when things start going, I'll just say backwards, you know, later in the movie, you're all like, okay, what's going on? And then how's this? And you got to try and put it all together in your head. This is going to be one that you need to watch 2 or 3 times, I think, to try and catch it all. So yeah, Scott, it's the plot on this thing is pretty convoluted, but man, I love this kind of movie. And with the freaking special effects of, and I don't want to spoil it again. You got to watch it to see what the special effects are, but it's good. You know what? Maybe I can get, so I know a guy, I'm acquainted with a gentleman. He's not like a buddy that worked on the production of the movie. He did the dailies for film for Nolan in this transfer truck. So they're out filming, and then all the stuff that they film, his responsibility was to get it on film that could be projected. And then they projected it at the end of the day. So Nolan could say, I like this, or I don't like this, and we need to refilm this or whatever. But he was there for, the whole deal. I think it'd be cool to get him on to chat about this. So I'm gonna see if I can get him. But
man, I think it'd be cool to get Christopher Nolan on to chat about this.
Yeah, why don't you get Christopher Nolan on?
Well, I talked to him, and I told him once I was really dissatisfied with the way that he did his sound mixes, and now he doesn't want to come on my stuff.
So AA said, I read Nolan wants the experience to be real world, so that's why the vocals are low if explosions are happening around you. Makes sense.
Makes sense, but I want to hear what they're saying, so I turned it up.
Yeah. And also, I think that Robert Pattinson
was awesome.
Yeah, he's great, and it really solidifies my hope for Batman. But
he can totally do it. He killed this thing. No sparkly vampires here.
No, and you haven't even finished it. It gets better. It gets a lot better.
I bet it does.
And that's Denzel's son.
Yeah, Denzel's boy, and he's like all buffed out, and yeah, he was great.
He's older than I expected.
Well, Denzel,
he looks older than I expected, but then again, Denzel's what, 60s?
He's got to be late 60s, I think.
No,
maybe not. Maybe
not that old.
Right? Maybe he had him when he was like 15 or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
But okay, and then on the same topic, but I was not familiar with the lead actress of the show, but man,
I didn't care for her.
I thought, well, the acting is fine.
I thought her acting was really, really not.
But she's like 6'3" and gorgeous.
Yeah. Well, and then the bad guy, her husband or whatever, you know where he's from, right? From have you ever seen Triple X with Vin Diesel?
No.
He's the bad guy from there.
Is Triple X good?
Dude, like it was cool for 2001, 2002. Yeah, it was great.
I mean, it's kind of like a Fast and Furious kind of, like it's like a big joyride kind of movie. I think
it's a guilty pleasure.
Is that the one with Ice Cube in it?
No, that's the second one.
Oh,
and then he made a third one recently, which was pretty cool. But when like Scott said, it's kind of a Fast and Furious-esque type movie where it's just an action flick.
Dude, I love Fast and Furious.
I'm surprised you don't. I think I have it in my right now.
In your collection?
Right now I'm doing a hard drive swap right now, so it's like 9 hours in. But yeah, I'll share. I'll be sure to share it with you. Denzel is 65. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's about right.
And we have a call for Dunkirk, another movie that I've not seen yet. It's on the list. I have a copy of it, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, that's a great movie too. We actually use that movie for some of our demos. There's some really great clips in there, and I think he filmed that originally in 70 millimeter or something like that. Christopher Nolan, he's at an echelon now where he can call the shots of the way he wants his movie to be seen, kind of like Quentin Tarantino, where he can, he wants it done in that CinemaScope type experience. And I think it was filmed that way, but that's a really great film. He's had a great career. When he came out with Momentum years ago, I thought that was just the best movie. It was so wonderful, the fractured storyline and everything. And he's kind of
crazy, dude.
Yeah, he's kind of continued that all the way through. Time is always kind of a really interesting topic in his movies. It's never addressed in a linear fashion. And I think Tenet really kind of, you said it starts going backwards. I haven't seen it yet, but it starts going backwards at some point. That doesn't surprise me at all. Just like Inception and, all of his movies are.
Interstellar, that was all time.
Interstellar, totally, yeah.
Which is really good because, man, I what's the guy's name, the actor?
Matthew McConaughey and Interstellar.
McConaughey. That dude, I don't know why I like him so much, but
all right.
You know about them high school girls. But they stay the same age.
Nolan always gets the pick of the litter. He's got DiCaprio, McConaughey, just the Batman trilogy. He had a ton of A-listers there. Like Christian Bale, obviously.
Yeah,
he gets to work with really like professional actors. So that automatically, because there's a lot of directors that take a chance on fresh blood.
Well, I think he took a huge chance in Tenet. Well, maybe not huge, but I don't think if you're thinking like action movie stars, you're not going to go with Pattinson, right? He doesn't jump out to me as like this is the guy. And then Denzel's son. I wish I knew his name. Anybody know his name? Because I can't. I
don't think he carries the Washington last name. I think he purposely put that aside.
I think he does. Hold on. Let me look it up.
So this guy, he stands on his own 2 feet. He doesn't need to ride on his dad's coattails. He did a wonderful job in this movie. But he's not a guy that I would have been able to name, I didn't know him before this one. So
his name is John David Washington.
John David.
Oh, so, okay. So he does keep the last name. So
JD.
Yeah. Well, I think after Batman, it's like Christopher Nolan was known as a very talented director, and he did some successful movies up to that point. And so, the whole superhero genre, to kind of keep that whole thing going, they started giving these movies to all these new great directors, which was really a great way to breathe life and make everything fresh. But after he did those Batman movies, he proved himself to be a very successful in terms of box office, right? So after you do that, I don't want to compare him to James Cameron, but once you bring in all that money and you're a talented director, that's when you start calling your shots about how you want your movie to be done and who you want as your cast. And anytime that you can get DiCaprio in your cast, that says something about what kind of quality director you are.
And talk about Cameron, man, part 2 and part 3 for Avatar.
It's like a 3-story arc. He's filming it all at one time, from what I've been told.
That's like when they did the Matrix, remember?
Yeah.
The second. Yeah.
I thought Avatar was cool. However, people really like, they're really excited about this. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to see it. I'm going to watch it because it'll be a cinematic masterpiece for sure. But
dude, I just watched Avatar again.
I did too.
About a month ago.
Maybe I need to watch it again
with the boys. And man, it stands up. It was better than when I saw it the first time.
Oh, it's beyond its time. It's way beyond its time as far as
it's good.
CGI and all that stuff. It's way beyond its time.
Dude, it's got one of my favorite actresses in it. She's probably dead. I don't know. So old now.
Who's Sigourney Weaver?
Oh, I love Sigourney Weaver.
She's going to be in these sequels.
Is she going to be in these? Oh, that's okay. That's awesome.
Yeah,
she is one of my favorites.
I wonder if they're going to bring her back for the new Ghostbusters Afterlife.
That would be super cool. That's another movie I'm dying to see.
Yeah, obviously Dune. What's funny about Dune? The toys are at Target.
No
Like,
way.
you could buy the toys at Target.
Oh,
I
dude,
saw
okay.
Paula Trades and Duncan, Idaho. But
I'm not a
I want Chani, though. I want Chani. That's
oh
what I
yeah, of course. Who doesn't want Johnny?
want. Zendaya. Oh my God.
But I'm not a big
dirty old men.
I know we're all the young lady.
Do it again.
Whenever I would go to the club, I'm I'm not like a memorabilia guy for the toys and stuff for movies. But for Dune, I might have to just invest in everything that they make because I'm a huge Herbert fan. And I've read all the books. I've read all of his son's books, and I've seen all the other Dune versions. And man, I am the Kwisatz Haderach.
I'll tell you what.
I was going to say, the David Lynch movie that came out was like in the 90s or something, or late 80s. I know it got ripped, but I still thought it was great. It was such
the one with Sting?
Yeah. Sting was in it. And,
I have it on Blu-ray. I love it.
Yeah.
The only thing that I really did not like about that movie was the way they treated the weirding way. So, they would give them these voice box things and they go, and then shoot everything. That's not what it was. It was just like, the weirding way was just like saying jujitsu. That's all it was, right? It wasn't like this weird voice thing. So they made that all up for the movie. It's not even part of the books.
Well, what really upset me is for this one is that Fade Routha isn't in it.
What?
Yeah, Fade Routha Harkonnen's not in it.
How can you not have Fade Routha?
I guess they didn't want to replace Sting.
Dude, Sting was iconic in that role.
Well, what's his name? Bautista's playing the Baron Harkonnen, which I think is cool.
How do you make him fat?
A suit. But no, a total aside from this, what do you guys think if Nolan would have directed the new Star Wars movies instead of the people that did? How much of a trip do you think those things would have been?
Oh, I bet Luke Skywalker would have went off on somebody and chopped off some heads is what I think.
Oh God, it would have
no. He would have gone back in time and
Yeah.
chopped somebody's head off, and then he would come back.
That's
But
right.
You wouldn't really know.
He would have gone back in time, and then Darth Vader would never.
Oh no, Hayden Christensen would have jumped time into the future to make sure Rey knew what to do, and trained her himself.
I think
that's actually a really good idea.
I think we have just come up with the replacement trilogy.
Yeah,
this most recent trilogy is going to be gone.
It's a time. We're going to make it a time bender.
That's right. So there'll be Rogue One, then there'll be the original series of the first episodes 4, 5, and 6, and then we're going to do 7, 8, 9.
Well, you got to think these people have the ability to go at the speed of light or faster. And faster than the speed of light, and
so you're traveling through time at that point.
And they have the esoteric force that they're able to bend. They're able to bring people back to life. They're able to do all this other shit. But you're telling me they can't time travel? That would be the most basic thing for them to be able to do with all the technology they have.
That makes sense.
I mean, granted,
we're doing it.
We're doing it.
Well, that's just one of those mysteries. Just like in Star Trek, why didn't they have cameras in the hallways and stuff? They can go faster than the speed of light, but they don't have security cameras.
Yeah, and they can beam someone from point to point. They can transport someone.
Yeah, but there's no security cameras.
And I'm telling you, man, the writers just don't cover.
You can only see on the other side of that door.
I'm telling you. Well, we've been eating up all this time talking about movies, but Scott, I want to hear about your project.
I do too.
Your architectural project,
man.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's no secret. I'm also a licensed architect in the state of California, and that's kind of how I got into doing home theater. Originally I was doing these high-end homes that had these dedicated home theater rooms, and it was always this cool little gem of the project that the husband and I would kind of work on together and have a lot of fun with. But once it got executed, and it was almost like the architecture kind of outplayed the speakers and everything in there. So kind of thinking along those lines, when I met up with Dan, we started talking about doing something that was a little more interesting visually. But I still do architecture now. And right now I'm focusing on doing sound studios. So I'm in Los Angeles, right? And there's a lot of pre and post production. So when I'm not designing speakers or, working with Starke Sound, I also lend my talents to doing studios, and mostly production studios. We did a quite large one last summer in Burbank that was focusing mainly on post-production of TV and movies. So, you have the Paramount lots, and you've got Universal, and you've got all these movie lots here in town. They basically take all the footage and the content, and then they take it to these studios that they lease.
Talking about like an Icon or something, right?
Yeah. So, and these are big studio. These are all Dolby Atmos rooms, so they get mixed in these rooms that are off site, and the producers will come in there. Anyways, I mean, these rooms, they're top of the line, state of the art, and they're basically the size of small theaters because they have to mix them in a way that you would hear them in a theater. So, there's a lot of challenges in doing that. There's a lot of sound isolation. There's some aesthetics there, of course, and just the layout of the room and bass traps, the materials on the walls, all those things. But what I've been working on in the past 6 months are, COVID has hit this industry as well. So there's a lot of these editors and mixers who want to be able to do their work from home now, at least some of the preliminary stuff. So there's a lot of detached garages here in Los Angeles from the post-war production homes that were designed many years ago. And those are perfect little studio spaces. So we've been going in and we've kind of take out the garage door and we isolate the room, and we set up all the ratios so they can have that kind of smaller environment. I have a client right now who's a protege of Hans Zimmer. We all know who Hans Zimmer is. He's a great movie composer, very well known. And we're doing a special space for him. And he is also a musician as well, like a lot of these guys are. So
can you get him on the show?
Maybe.
Be like, hey man.
I just talked to him today, so we'll see.
Be like, I know these two dudes. They like your stuff.
Yeah, he's a great guy too. I mean, he's extremely talented. But it's really fun because this COVID has affected everybody in their professions in their own way, and working from home can be achieved in a lot of different ways, even if you're a movie composer. So I've been doing that. It's a really fun kind of design work. It's very different from a lot of other things. There's a lot of science and a lot of technical things about it that are really fun to do. There's a lot of good consultants that come on board doing these kinds of things.
That's cool. It sounds like you have a good time doing it, so that's good.
Yeah.
Have you ever met? If you ever meet Ariana Grande, you'll have to give Giles his number to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably the creepiest I've ever heard.
She's my favorite.
She's your favorite. You like her, huh?
Oh man, she's such a great artist. I mean, just obviously she's a very attractive woman, but getting past that, she did a bit on the Tonight Show where they asked her to sing songs in the style of other singers.
Oh, really?
And she just nailed it. She was like, she did a Madonna, I think, and she did a Britney Spears, and it's just uncanny her ability to sing. I mean, she's gifted with a great instrument.
Yeah, Giles has all of her CDs and posters, and he fangirls out over her.
A shrine. Did you have a shrine as well?
I've got a creepy website shrine. And I stay up at night.
He's got an Instagram for it. He's got it all.
Yeah. I love Ariana Grande.
Now we're just giving him ideas.
She's awesome.
Right.
I think Mike likes her more than I do.
No, dude. She's all yours. I wouldn't step on your toes.
You want to hear something else that I love that's coming around again? Firefly.
Oh, I heard about that. I heard Firefly come back. Yeah.
That was real popular. It was almost kind of a cult following kind of show, right? And I knew that when it got canceled, everybody was up in arms about it. But didn't they do a movie? Was there a movie that they did out of that too? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think the movie flopped though, didn't it?
I don't know. I watched it. I loved it.
Yeah, I don't think they marketed it right, but it's kind of an interesting premise. I mean, isn't the girl like? There's some girl. She's like a weapon, right? She's like a total badass.
Yeah, she's got like psionic powers and all kinds of stuff, and but she's kind of like out there, Something's
You know,
wrong.
I went to a Comic-Con one time and they had a bunch of people signing autographs from Firefly. I'm like, who the F are these people? Like,
Oh, dude.
yeah, the girl was there too, that everybody loves and all that stuff.
Yeah. I really liked my favorite character. Well, my two favorite characters were the mechanic, and I
Mhm.
can't think of her name. And then the I don't know, the lady with the long neck that was just in that movie Greenland.
Mhm.
And I liked her a lot too. And of course, then the strong dumb guy. I can't think of his name either. I can't think of any of their names. It was a great show. It was good stuff. But Scott, to kind of turn it back to the architecture, when I build my retirement home overseas, you'll be getting a call, and we'll have to figure out how I can retain your services.
Sure, I'd love to
build a theater in somewhere south of Bangkok.
I always like flexing my architecture muscle, and just so you guys know, also at Stark Sound, if you do have a studio that you're working on, we do offer design services. So if you need some help like locating speakers, all you do is give us a floor plan, where the seats are going to be located, what kind of system. We'll figure out scientifically exactly where you want to place the speakers, and what kind of setup, what kind of configuration, because at the end of the day, we want the best possible product for you. So, whoever we can be involved to help that happen. Designing a home theater is a holistic process. You can have the best speakers in the world, but if you get the wall treatment off, or if you don't have everything in the right place, it's you're wasting the possibility of it. So, we like to offer that too for our customers.
I'll tell you what, Giles, it's a shame because we have this Scott, and I'm sure you're familiar with him because I think he's spoken with you before. This guy Herman from China, he'll come on every week and ask us one question about Stark Sound stuff.
Where's he at today?
What a day for him to come on, because Scott could have answered all of his questions that he.
Herman, where are you, buddy? I'm right here, man. I got my shirt on and everything.
Yeah, dude. Tonight is the night for Herman to come on, and he's not on.
I know. Whatever he's doing in Singapore, he needs to stop doing it.
Is that where he lives?
I'm pretty sure Singapore.
That was Shanghai.
You're right. It is Shanghai. Yes,
Yeah.
my bad. It's in China. Yeah, Shanghai.
Shanghai.
Yeah. So one
he
day
wants us to go party with him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go visit, dude. So if travel is a thing and vaccinations are working and borders are open this summer, it'll be a stop it in Shanghai for me for sure.
Oh, man, I don't think this is going to be over by the summertime.
It's close. I think I'll probably end up being on the list for like a June, maybe. I don't know. You're probably right.
Like it's close everywhere else except here.
Yeah.
Let's be optimistic, though. Let's be optimistic.
They'll let me in. That's all that matters, right? As long as
that's the thing. They don't want Americans to go.
Yeah, that's right. They don't.
Well, if we are vaccinated,
and just
if we've got our shots, then they hopefully will let us in. But so
let's hope for the best, because I want to go to all the audio fests coming up. I want to go to my Comic Cons. I want to go to all this stuff that I missed out this year because of this severe inconvenience.
Yes, it's completely inconvenient. Oh God,
which it sucks for the people. Obviously, it sucks for the people that passed away, and I feel for them. But
Mike, you've been called out.
I haven't been feeling well today, so I've been kind of taking it easy. So my North Face sweater is very comfy, and
That's your Happy's Place sweater.
Kind of chilling out today. Not really. My hair's not done. I'm just.
Your hair looks curly today.
Yeah, because I didn't put any gel in it. I'm naturally curly.
It's naturally curly. I don't think I've ever seen you without your hair done.
Dude, embrace your curls, Mike.
I'm just embracing the fact
that's the way God made you, dude.
I embrace my curls. Actually, I hate curly hair, so my body just ejects them. So I have I would be fully curly, but I just said no.
I wish I had access to it, but I have seen a picture of Giles when he was young with a full head of hair, and it's the funniest, weirdest thing you'll ever see in your life.
It is kind of odd to see, isn't it?
You're like, what the hell is this? Like, it's Giles with hair.
Giles with hair, and then you'll see a lot with no glasses, and about 100 pounds lighter. So. Yeah, it's I was quite different. back then. I've gotten much more attractive as I've aged.
You're much more distinguished now than you were before.
Oh, just it's
Uh-oh.
sexy,
Mad
domineering,
Prawn
and
is
everything.
calling me out. Mad Prawn is calling me out. Okay, so yes, my merch actually is softer than this North Face sweater, but I just happened to pull this out first. So,
Oh God!
you know,
Oh,
I'll tell you what, Mad Prawn. Since you're questioning the softness of my hoodie, I'm gonna send you a hoodie. So that's my donation for today. I am gonna send Mad Prana a hoodie. So Mad Prana, email me your address. You're gonna get a hoodie. Well, eventually, because USPS right now is taking about 10 weeks for anything. So
it indeed is.
let's hope to God the company I uses FedEx or DHL or something different than USPS. Because, dude, Scott, have you tried shipping anything lately on USPS? It's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, obviously, COVID had an impact on the logistic chains earlier this year, and some of our contacts, our agents, are saying that a lot of these shipping companies they're having to catch up because everything was cut for a few months there, and it's been quite a challenge kind of getting everything back in. So yeah, it's been a bit of a challenge, but I mean, most of the stuff, at least the stuff that we're selling on the site, it's usually getting to its destination between like 4 and 5 working days. So
you guys use FedEx and UPS, I believe, right? I mean,
we mostly use UPS, but we'll use FedEx in certain conditions. We always try to find the best shipping scenario for our products. But UPS has been fairly good, I think. So.
And just USPS is just not the business right now.
Oh man, it's a Southern California meetup right now.
Oh, look at Kevin's in the house.
Kevin, what's up?
Kevin's super late, dude. Usually
I know.
Kevin's like first and
I think it's because of the time change that's got him since we started doing a little bit earlier. But yeah, Kevin, dude, we were talking about your subwoofers earlier, and they were doing some work while I was watching the first half of Tenet today. They were actually, causing damage. I'm surprised I didn't crack some tiles when those cans fell off the shelves in the pantry. I
can't believe it, dude. I cannot believe you. I got to hear that over there.
Dude, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's just.
I warned you. You that it was really base heavy. You just didn't believe me.
I believed you but it was like a cognitive belief. It's not like
you thought it was going to be like probably the equivalent of what's that one movie that's really basey in the beginning,
Edge of Tomorrow.
That and the other one, Blade Runner.
Yeah, so
you probably thought it was around there, but I'm like, no, dude. Like this is,
dude. So it's like the orchestra's playing, right? And then they get ready to play the music, and they start to, and then boom! You're like, oh shit! Yeah. You're all like, let me turn it down, because you're like, I think I just blew up something. I don't know. It's crazy. Yeah, no, I didn't viscerally know it. I believed you. I understood that it was going to be a lot of bass, but I was not prepared. I don't know where that saying comes from. I was not prepared. You're not prepared.
Well, I want to thank Scott for being on the show. We're a little bit past our time. And I don't want to keep him any longer because I know Giles and I are kind of obnoxious. So,
and his girlfriend will be angry with him.
Yeah, we don't want to keep him from his girlfriend.
No, she's all good. She wanted me to tell you guys hello.
Oh, tell her we said hello.
Yeah, we all need to get together one of these days after the bad times and have a meet and greet. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, and I really appreciate you guys having me on the show. It's always fun. I'd be more than happy to come back.
Glad to have you, and thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, great.
Absolutely. Thanks, Sky. It was a pleasure.
All right. Happy holidays to you and everybody else.
Oh, but dude, do the plug real fast. We
guys, if you have not yet, go subscribe and follow Audio Architects. Subscribe and follow Home Theater Fanatics, and of course, subscribe and follow everything Starke Sound. So visit starksound.com, shop.starksound.com, IG at starksound. Just Starke Sound.
all their things.
Visit all their socials and check them out because they got some really cool products. As you know, I have one right here. I have a couple more over here.
Hold on. I can get in on this action.
Yeah, come on. Get in on this. There you go.
Oh, there it is. Look at that guy.
That
H1 action going there. Huh?
dude, that if people don't know, and they should know, but that is spectacular. I mean, the H1 and H3s, they're good.
Yeah,
they're really good.
Right on. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next Tuesday. 8 p.m. is our new time, so stay tuned every Tuesday at 8 p.m. We will see you soon.
Peace.
see you guys. Bye.
Don't go anywhere, Scott. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.